Hi, my name is Erin. I'm a librarian here at Gail Borden Public Library. Today I'd like to introduce you to one of our databases, the Historical Chicago Tribune database. It is one of the many databases that we offer, and it has articles from the Chicago Tribune going back all the way to 1849, so there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of important world events that happened. There's also personal history that people use for family history. And there's also just a lot of fun detail that can really allow you to delve into a period of time to learn more about how people lived. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the ways that we tend to use this is to find primary sources. We often have students who are doing research on a historical event, and they will need to find a primary source, which would be something that is from the time period or created by someone who was involved in the event or a direct observer. So these newspapers are great for that sort of thing. So let's say I am looking for information on the women's suffrage movement. Now that went on for a long time, so you can see I've got over 20,000 results. I'm gonna limit myself to the time period when the amendment was passed. So I'm going to narrow it down, and you can just keep narrowing. I can also go down to August. And then I'm going to choose the 26th, which was when the amendment was passed. And here is the front page of the paper. This is the article I'm looking for, but I like to go in and say browse this issue, because that lets me see the whole paper for that day. There were a lot of things that happened. Every day a lot of things happened, so we can see the topic that we're researching, but we can also then see what else was going on. And sometimes you'll find things that are relevant directly to what you were looking for. Like here, I'm going to have on page 3 a photo of the women who were registering to vote for the first time, which is a great thing to be able to add into a paper. Just a little more information, make it a little livelier. But then I can go back here and go back to the page view and continue on and see what else was going on that day. Another thing we often like to research is our family history. And if you have family who lived in the Chicago area, you may find information about them here. We don't always find as much as we'd like, but sometimes it works out. Often we like to find obituaries for people because we can find a lot of information in them sometimes. We can get the person's life as well as their family, and that can be helpful. And then if you're really lucky, you might even find that you get an article about the person. So here we're going to find that Miss Judith Clyden finished her training as a stewardess. So if there was someone in your family, that'd be a pretty fun thing to find. Another thing that we can do, even if we didn't have family in the area, is get a sense of how they lived, what types of things they might have used, or even what kind of recipes they like to cook. So what I like to do sometimes is I'll look for recipes, and I have chosen a date of June 10th, 1932, so we're going a little bit further back this time. And I can go ahead and search for recipes. And here I've got this great photo of this man cooking, and at that time, of course, that was a little bit different. You know, the expectations weren't that a husband would be cooking, and our expectations for society do change all the time, and here you can see that happening. So it's kind of a nice thing just to be able to get into that. And then I'm going to go ahead and look at that page view again and see what else was going on. So I've got an article here about a Chicagoan who gives 32 years study to baking beans, which is kind of fun. And then here's a good one. If it's a picnic, what a picnic. It needs chicken. Jellied chicken is delicious and convenient variation. So if you need a recipe for jellied chicken, you can find it here. No need to worry. I also love looking at the ads here. We've got ads for soap, and Rice Krispies, and all kinds of fun stuff. So I really enjoy this because you can get a sense of what people were looking at, what they might have been striving for in their lives, and also just what their expectations were. You can also often find great examples of fashion from the time period, or we can also find what people might want their homes to look like. So we've got articles about homes, furniture styles, and even appliances. So like here, even back in 1932, they're looking at air conditioners. You can also see if there was a major event going on or even several major events, because we know that there's always a lot of things going on. There's political events, there's weather events, health events, all kinds of stuff. And when we experience it, when we live through it, we are experiencing all those things at the same time. But when we look at it as history, we often just focus on the one event that happened rather than the whole thing. So by using the newspapers, you can really get into that mindset again of everything happening just like it did at the time. So if you're interested in this database or any of the others we offer, there are librarians who would be really happy to help you. We are very happy to help guide your research and to choose different databases that will work best for your needs. You can visit our database page at www.gailborden.info/databases to choose databases to explore. And if we can help with any of that, please contact us and let us know. Thanks for watching.